Benjamin Franklin famously said that nothing is certain in the world except death and taxes. In politics, there's one more certainty: partisan fights over taxes. And we've seen those battles begin as the new Congress starts its work. Republicans have finally elected a speaker on the 15th attempt. Now that's done, they've turned their attention to taxation, or more specifically, tax enforcement. One of the first actions taken by the GOP-led House was passage of a bill rescinding more than $70 billion in extra funding for the IRS.
We made a commitment to America. We said the first bill we're going to take up is the bill to repeal those 87,000 IRS agents. Frankly, what we need is more Border Patrol agents securing America's border, not IRS agents going after hardworking families in America. And so we passed that bill.
Republicans cast the move as an attempt to punch back against overreach by the tax collectors. Kevin McCarthy, the new Speaker, said the government should be here to help you, not go after you. Congressman Adrian Smith of Nebraska said the move would stop autopilot funding for an out-of-control government agency. And Congressman Jason Smith of Missouri said the IRS does not need a raise, it needs a reckoning. Now, nobody wins votes by sticking up for the IRS, but the factual basis for some of the claims made by Republicans is flimsy. And it's not just Democrats saying that, it's independent experts too. The backstory here goes back to last year. Then, Democrats worked with President Biden to pass the Inflation Reduction Act. The new law provided extra money for the IRS, enough in headline terms to hire 87,000 agents. Republicans seized on that move, claiming that the Democrats were creating an IRS army that would go after taxpayers.
This is about making sure that everybody pays their fair share, and that the richest don't get to avoid time and time again the ability to do that.
Firstly, the 87,000 people would be recruited over a decade. Second, the total employees of the agency would not increase by 87,000. Thousands of existing workers would retire during that same period. And not all of these people are agents in the sense of enforcers anyways. Third, the White House emphasizes that Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has insisted that the new funds should not be used to increase the proportion of all IRS audits that target small businesses or households with incomes below $400,000.
I've directed that enforcement resources will not be used to raise audit rates for households making under $400,000 a year relative to historical levels.
Audits in general target richer Americans and bigger businesses. Democrats are trying to push back against the Republican attacks by arguing basically that the GOP is doing the bidding of the super rich. The administration said in a statement that the GOP bill protects wealthy tax cheats at the expense of honest middle-class taxpayers. To be fair to Republicans, plenty of people distrust the IRS, and they distrust promises given about its behavior. So they aren't going to believe that they're as safe from audit as before. And they for sure aren't going to take Janet Yellen's word for that. Conservative voters are also deeply skeptical of the IRS because of events that date back approximately a decade. Then the agency was found to be scrutinizing groups with names that indicated an affiliation with the Tea Party movement or other conservative causes. As multiple places would later report, the agency was also targeting liberal groups, but in smaller numbers. The idea that 87,000 new IRS agents were about to hit the streets is just not true. The Republican bill, of course, has no real chance of becoming law, while Democrats hold the Senate and the White House. So what we're watching is a political fight. It's one where no holds are barred, and where the facts can easily get mangled.